pace, 120 miles an hour at one point. We're about 97, almost 100 miles an hour right now. Heavy traffic. We're eastbound on the 118 freeway. This started along the 23 freeway when Ventura County Sheriff's tried to pull this vehicle over. We're trying to get the want on the vehicle, but the vehicle took off. It did exit at Terra Rihata for a few seconds and then got back on the 23. It's now on the 118 eastbound and is in Simi Valley. So we're keeping an eye out for the Sheriff's Department. The airship is going to be arriving shortly, but this vehicle driving very fast on the 118 freeway in some heavier traffic. In fact, we saw it coming around a curve on the 118, and it looked like it hit one of the vehicles. It tried to split lanes between one of the vehicles there in the slow lane, and it looks like it may have scraped that vehicle, but continued on here, possibly hitting another one doing the same thing. So we're looking at 96 miles an hour right now, and the Ventura County Sheriff's trying to catch up to the vehicle. Because of speed and the traffic, they've been having a hard time keeping up with the vehicle, who's been using the shoulder of the road to pass. But again, we have, oh, it looks like a tire came off possibly of that vehicle. Not sure what happened there. It was a tire that came off and hit that truck that he passed. So they may have a problem or may have an issue with this vehicle now with possibly one tire missing. We'll see what happens. It happened so quick, I couldn't tell if it came off the vehicle or not. It looks like he's going to be exiting here, Jim. He's going to be exiting the freeway here. This is going to be at Tapo Canyon. Hard on the brakes. He hits the brakes. That car is disabled likely. Oh, no, the car's going to roll away. Two suspects running. The driver in that pink. There's a third one coming out of the back. We're going to stick with the driver right there, and he's going southbound away from the freeway. The airship coming up overhead. Let me come out to a wider shot. They're all in this backyard. This is going to be off of Woodhaven, and they're running still together in that backyard, maybe trying to get into the shed. One's going into the shed, and the second one's going into the shed. The driver there, he's going to go in the shed. All three in the shed here. So again, this is off of Woodhaven, just south of the 118 freeway. The vehicle coming off the tire coming off the vehicle, I should say, and we're in the 2400 block of Woodhaven Court. It's Woodhaven Court, and we'll see what happens when the police get on scene. You see the swimming pool there. I'll come to a wide shot. We'll keep an eye on that shed, but you can see the vehicle on the side of the road. Fortunately, it stopped. It stopped rolling, but again, a tire came off suddenly, hitting a pickup, or a big rig, I should say. The back of the big rig didn't really do anything to that big rig, but it could have been still in lanes and possibly hitting other vehicles. The suspects pulling over abruptly, jumping out and running into this shed. We have yet to see them come out. So we have, oh, they're peeking out right there. They opened the door for a brief second and now back in, but we should be seeing Ventura County Sheriff's and possibly Simi Valley Sheriff's responding to this address. We got a pedestrian here walking in the cul-de-sac here, unknown to them that there's three suspects in that backyard. But at this point, the Sheriff's Department are trying to coordinate with Simi Valley PD to get them on scene here. Three suspects inside of that shed that all came out of that black Mercedes that was high speed at one point 120 miles an hour on the 118.
Gil, do we have any information about the want, why they were being pursued in the first place?
We don't have the want yet on the vehicle. They were in very hot pursuit of that vehicle on the 23, and it sounded like they were possibly coming from the 101 freeway when we first learned of it, but we have yet to find out the want on the vehicle initially. Maybe for speed, it might have been for something else, but at this point, three suspects still in the shed, and let me come back out to the freeway, and still no police on scene behind the vehicle. But we should be seeing the helicopter come over the scene here, and then the police agencies coming in to make the arrest.
Gil, these suspects were using the emergency lane to fly through traffic. You mentioned 119 miles per hour on the freeway, so that may be why it's taking a while for those Ventura County Sheriff's deputies to catch up with where this Mercedes, it looks like, was ditched on the side of the road there. But you said it's possible that Simi Valley may also have law enforcement getting involved.
Well, certainly Simi Valley PD frequencies or may have adopted that frequency for themselves. So it possibly is Moore Park PD that was in pursuit, not so much the Sheriff's Department from Ventura County.
Got it. That makes sense.
That makes sense. Understood. Well, they have certainly caught up with these suspects now. The situation, of course, very tense as police decide what their next move is going to be, as these three suspects are hiding in the shed backyard of that home located on the 2400 block of Woodhaven Court. This is in Simi Valley. Yeah, and at this point we can see that there looks like that's the Sheriff's Department helicopter there overhead. There is now black and white units behind the car that was abandoned on the side of the road, and police units have now all but surrounded the backyard where these three suspects are hiding.
And sheriff's deputies from Ventura County now looking into that vehicle that was ditched on the side of the road on Topo Canyon, the exit there, going into this home on 2400 block of Woodhaven Court. Won't give out the exact address, but I am just kind of curious, Gil, do police ever reach out to you or law enforcement reach out to you if you were able to spot something in the air that they maybe hadn't caught up to yet?
Yes, in fact, the airship was talking to my pilot, Jim Pollard, during the chase, was on their way, and because the units were so far back, they lost sight on the ground, and they were relying on us to give a location as he was exiting Tapo Canyon. My pilot pointed that out, and then they responded to this cul-de-sac. So they were able to get eyes on that shed right away as soon as those officers rolled up, and now this area is completely surrounded. Yeah, they feel confident enough to do this. They're going to move in to the gate, possibly open the gate and move into the shed. We'll see. But at this point, no movement from the shed at all. We'll see if they give a call out as they get close to the fence. And as they are there now, we'll see what happens if they go try to open that gate. Let's see if it's locked. He's going to reach over. Unlocked. That's good. And they're going to move right in. So they're just feet away from those three suspects.
Sure. A very tense situation right now. Those officers don't know if these suspects are armed, what they are capable of, or what their intentions are. So a very tense situation. As police act carefully here, you can see they've got a shield, guns drawn. Deputies here move in to apprehend these suspects.
Yeah, it's likely they think they're in the clear up until this point. Now they're hearing the call-outs from the police. They're likely saying, we know you're in the shed. We want you to come out with your hands up. But we'll see what happens here.
Clearly armed and
out.
Here they come. All right, they are coming out with their hands up.
And that's a wise decision. That was the rear passenger. That's the driver in the pink and the front passenger in the black hoodie. They're laying down. The guy in the black hoodie wanted to take a picture, it looked like.
Yeah, that is not, do not do that. That is not what we want to see. That's not what Sheriff's Department wants to see with guns drawn, is a hand in a pocket. Not wise to do that in front of multiple law enforcement officers with a gun on you.
But it would appear that they are complying right now. They're laying on the ground with their hands above their heads, just like officers are telling them to do. And they will soon be taken into custody and taken to jail.
We saw 3 go out of the vehicle.
across Midwest Boulevard. Like I said, I don't know if you all have any information or not. I do not have it on why they're in pursuit of this vehicle or why the pursuit was started. But like I said, it started well south of Jones and came up Hiawassee and then into Jones and then came out of Jones onto Britton Road. And now we're westbound here, and we're getting ready to come up to Acre View Drive, and we will pass Allison Lane, and it'll be Air Depot Boulevard that we will cross here. Like I said, we're still doing about 80 miles an hour going westbound on Britton here. So again, we're coming up to another four-way stop here, and that may be a two-way, but possibly, no, it's a four-way. He slowed down a little bit, but he went right through the four-way stop without stopping at all. We are slowing down now, so we'll see what's going to happen here. But again, like I said, I don't have the information of why they're in pursuit of this car, but it's been a pretty wild chase, reaching speeds in excess of 100 miles an hour here westbound on Britton. We kind of maintained 80 till we slowed down right there. So again, now he's picking up speed again, so we are really starting to roll again westbound here on Britton. We'll be coming up to, we'll be crossing Sooner Road here shortly, and probably the next couple of miles we'll be crossing, and he is really giving it the gas now. We are doing well over 100 here as we come up to Sooner Road, which is another four-way stop. Slowing down a little bit, slowing down, slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. He's going to make a turn to the left. Oh, we tried to double back on him here, so now we're going southbound on Sooner Road. Southbound on Sooner Road is where we are headed. And like I said, if you guys got any information all over this, just cut me off and pick up here, because like I said, I don't have any information of why they're in pursuit of this car.
Jim, we're working on
we
getting
are
that
really
information
picking up
as
speed
we
here,
speak.
going southbound on Sooner, and I'm looking way ahead here, and it's just an open road right now, so I'm not sure what he's going to do here. I mean, it's been a very dangerous pursuit. We have crossed at least 3 or 4 four-way stops that he just completely blew through here, and that is very dangerous. Anybody starts to pull out in front of this SUV here.
Okay, Jim, we appreciate it. Stay with this guy, and we're trying to get that information on why exactly they're trying to pull over this driver of this SUV. This is a chase, Jim. How long has this chase been going on for?
It's been going on for at least 15, 20 minutes here.
Okay.
He's come up behind a semi here. Like I said, we just crossed Wilshire, southbound on Sooner, just crossed Wilshire here. So again, it's still a pretty open road here. And when he gets a section of open road, he really opens up in this SUV here. And like I said, we still have several agencies in pursuit of him right now. I count 4, it looks like 4 different agencies that are behind this car, of different police agencies here pursuing this SUV. Like I said, we are still coming down. We'll be coming up to 63rd Street. So we'll be southbound Sooner, coming up to 63rd, which is another four-way stop here. He's just flying through here.
And Jim, you were explaining earlier that he'd slow down, and it looked like he might jump out of the car, and then he'd speed up again. He's slowing down now. Where's he going?
Now we're going westbound on 63rd. Westbound on 63rd. So we're getting closer to the metro area here, Carl, as we come here. So we are westbound on 63rd.
So he'll hit
We'll be
Coltrane
coming up
next.
to, so the next major road will be Hilltop Drive. We'll be coming up to Hilltop Drive here, and he is really stretching it out again. We are well in excess of 100 miles an hour here, going westbound on 63rd. And the next Coltrane will be coming up to Coltrane here very quickly. Like I said, Carl, we're well over 110 miles an hour in that short section right there. Plus, just blew through another four-way stop there at Coltrane in excess of 110 miles an hour. Now, we'll be coming up here to I-35 here shortly.
Right.
So he's slowing down. Looks like we may have another police agency here coming up eastbound on 63rd here.
We're going to start to get into the rush hour,
too. I don't know if he's going to have time to put out stop sticks or anything on this.
Yeah, and I imagine
Like
Air One's up there with you, Jim?
Get around and join the pursuit here. But, yeah, Carl, now we're coming up to I-35 here, so we'll see what we're going to do. Like I said, we're westbound on 63rd. We just crossed, we're coming up to I-35. That's Bryant Boulevard, where that four-way stop is. Okay, he's still coming.
Okay.
He's going to come westbound on 63rd. He's not going to get on I-35. I'm going to have to roll around here real quick.
definitely got a good shot at him.
Around. We're still westbound on 63rd.
So he will end up, okay, he passed I-35. He'll end up near Martin Luther King if he continues on westbound.
Going by the health department there on your left. Hey, Jim, can you give us an idea of just how many patrol units are following this guy?
Well, not anymore now, Carl. They
Do you see any officers around?
No, well, look at this. He went through that gas station, cut over their grass,
Doesn't want to stop
went
at
under
the light.
the bridge. Okay, now, he's wrong way. He's wrong way on the off-ramp.
Okay.
He's on wrong way on the off-ramp here.
So this is the
That
service
is off-ramp to
drive that
Wilshire,
goes
coming off
northbound.
the Broadway extension.
Yes.
Going up the wrong way.
He's going
Oh,
southbound and
southbound on
northbound.
a northbound off-ramp.
He's going to try to jump on 235.
I don't know what he's trying to do here, Carl, because he's in. It's very, traffic. We're getting into that time of day where we're going to get into the rush hour. Looks like we got a police officer just pulled up on him.
Couple of them.
Let's see what happens here. Nope, there he is. He's gonna back up and try to run again.
And still going
He's
the wrong
still
way.
going the wrong direction here.
Again, this is the Broadway Extension
Now he's
service
going to go
parking
into
lot here.
into this center here. He's going to weave through. Off ramp there, and that could have been pretty hairy right there. But a police officer showed up and he turned around and he got on Santa Fe going southbound here, and we're going to be coming up to 63rd Street again.
Hey Jim, I just want to make sure that car behind, that is law enforcement right there. That black vehicle.
That's law enforcement right there.
Thank you.
That just pulled up to him there. It looks like an Oklahoma County Sheriff car again.
It looked like they had him boxed in.
The sheriff car's kind of just hanging back.
So is he still headed southbound on Santa Fe? What?
That's right. Now he's come up to 63rd again, so we'll see.
Okay.
Oklahoma City
Now
has
they're
just pulled
back
up there.
on it.
Now Oklahoma City is pulled up behind him. So now we are eastbound on 63rd again. So we'll see what he does here. He's picking up speed. So we're
he
eastbound.
will hit Kelly. That's going to be one of the next major intersections next. And then we will see if he continues on eastward. And then
I'm
after
just
that,
worried
MLK.
that he has no considerations.
You are watching our breaking news as we continue this coverage.
He's just completely blown through those without even slowing down. And he's coming up these traffic lights. And basically, he's been running the traffic lights. Okay, he just crossed over without stopping. There, we're still eastbound on 63rd, so we'll be coming up to the 44 here and stuff, and we'll see what he does here. We've been back and forth on 63rd here now in Wilshire.
And he has weaved in and out of traffic. But Jim, I have not seen him hit anybody or hit any vehicles.
No, I don't think so. We'll get Jim Shop back up here in a second here. But yeah, no, we were just talking about that. We haven't seen him hit anyone.
So this is going to be around 63rd.
Cowboy. That is the entrance to the Cowboy Hall of Fame right there. Now, I don't know what he's doing, so he's going to back up. He's going to go into the Cowboy Hall of Fame, I guess, thinking that, okay, if the police get up here and block that entrance,
there's not going to be
then there's really no way out for him. He can drive around this parking lot and basically drive out again, but if they were to come up.
So Cowboy Hall of Fame. Hey, Jim, do we have police cars going into the parking lot? Were they close enough to see this guy go in there like that?
There's one Oklahoma City officer coming up. He is talking to somebody. Somebody walked up to him at the door there and is talking to him. Well, now the Oklahoma City police officer turned around and is headed back the other direction. So he may be asking for directions here. I don't know.
Oh, that's a first.
He's right there in the National Cowboy Hall of Fame parking lot.
This is frustrating, isn't it? right there in an enclosed
now
parking lot.
Now the buoy almost hit that car right there that was coming out. Now the police officer's coming back in. He spun back around. Okay, now it looks like we may have 2 Oklahoma City officers, 3 Oklahoma City officers now pulling. I don't even know if we have any officers behind him again yet. They may have dropped off again.
This chase going on for almost 40 minutes now, where officers have been right on his tail and then let him go a little bit. Maybe it was getting a little too dangerous, and then they got back on so close, too, to getting him stopped.
And I've never seen anything that happened at Cowboy Hall of Fame right there. He was in a parking spot. He talked to a guy there.
Right.
And then there was another car that came out, and because he almost hit that car, right? And that driver came out, and then the officers were right there blocking the entrance to the parking lot, but not blocking the entrance to the actual Cowboy Hall of Fame, and he was able to sneak away again.
And apparently this chase started with a traffic stop.
We're eastbound on 63rd again, passing Coltrane, and, you know...
And Jim, we're back to this law enforcement...
Kind of dumbfounded here on... Because I see no officers behind him.
Yeah, they've fallen back.
So we're going to be. Yeah, he's left turn signals on, but I don't think there's no place to turn. But it's one of those frustrating things here.
The next major intersection will be Sooner Road if he's heading eastbound on Northeast 63rd Street.
That's right. At least he's slowed down. I mean, at least he has slowed down and kind of taking it his normal speed here. But, there's got to be, I mean, he has just refused to stop. Every time he's been confronted by an officer, he has got away somehow and just not yielded to the officer or the police officers. He's basically just found a way to get out and take off again. And like I said, he's just going very, very slow right now. And now he's speeding up again as we get to Sooner. He's running right through the four-way stop again. So we'll just, at this point, I really don't know what to say.
Yeah,
we'll just let people kind of know where he's
back,
going.
Way out in the rural area east here. said, Oklahoma County first started this pursuit. I don't know if they'll pick it back up. I know they terminated it as it was getting closer to the metro. They terminated it. Then there was Oklahoma City kind of got involved, but then once he got back here eastbound on 63rd after the Cowboy Hall of Fame, it looks like they've been called off also. So we're just tracking him along here at 63rd. I have 2.5 hours of fuel, so hopefully it won't last that long.
Well, we hope not, but this
you
guy,
know,
he doesn't seem to want to stop.
We'll just keep tabs on him here.
Well, that's great, Jim. So has he reached Air Depot yet? That's the next major street that he was set to pass.
That's right. He is crossing Air Depot right now, not yielding at all, just blowing through the 408 stop again.
Now we're getting into a more rural area after Air Depot, especially. And
yep, he's kind of slowed down again. You know, there for a while he was driving eastbound, you know, in the wrong lane. He was in the westbound lanes there coming out of the Cowboy Hall of Fame and drove in the wrong lanes for about a mile, and then he got back over. Luckily there were, you know, no cars coming, but we're going to be coming up to Midwest Boulevard again here as we go eastbound on 63rd again.
And
Like
Jim,
I said,
what's
we're
his
getting out where the
speeds
traffic
reaching?
is
What's his speed? He looks like he's going
here.
fast.
We'll see if he blows through this 4-way stop.
And Jim, do you have a read on his speed that he was just doing?
Well, he's pretty much kept it at you know, the speed of the you know, flow of traffic here, and it looks like he's actually going to stop maybe at this 4-way stop.
it's
Okay,
almost
so
as if
he's stopped.
he's trying to figure out if he's still being chased at this point. I mean,
I think
surely
that's what
he
it is,
sees
Carl.
you.
I think he's waiting to see if anybody's coming up behind him. And you know, at this point, I mean, he's had to see us
Right.
flying along beside here. So
And that was just Midwest Boulevard he passed. So then the next major intersection would be North Douglas Boulevard, heading eastbound on Northeast 63rd Street.
that's right. That's right. We'll, you know, I mean, we could repeat this over and over and over, but again, we're eastbound on 63rd to be coming up to Douglas Boulevard, and there is no law enforcement officers at all behind him. So, you know, we'll just have to see what the plan is here as we get further out east here. If, you know, Oklahoma County is going to get back involved, or if everybody's kind of just said, hey, you know, just let the guy go. It'd be pretty interesting what he